There was a woman named Mira who was drawn to a door she'd never noticed before. It was in her own house, a door that didn't belong there, standing alone at the end of a hallway she'd walked 1,000 times. One night she found it open, and she felt compelled to step inside. Beyond the door was a room that mirrored her own, only it wasn't. Every object was just slightly wrong. The light was dimmer, the shadows stretched a little too far. She turned to leave, but the door was gone, vanished as if it had never been there. And then she heard it, a soft, familiar hum, her own voice, calling her name from deeper within. She followed the voice, stepping through room after room, each one just like the last. Every room led to another door, and each door opened into another version of her life. In one room, she found herself older, worn, with eyes that held stories of a life she'd never lived. In another, she was a child again, hands small, eyes wide, reaching out to her like she was a stranger. And in every room, her own face stared back, silently pleading, or smiling with a knowing she couldn't understand. Mira began to run, desperate to escape, but every door just led to another version of herself, a kaleidoscope of lives she hadn't lived but somehow knew. In one, she was a mother, in another, a lover, in another, she was alone. Lives splintered off like broken glass, and in each she saw fragments of the choices she never made, paths she'd abandoned, people she'd left behind. Then she reached a final door. Her hand trembled as she opened it, stepping into a version of herself, standing in the very same hallway she had started in. But this time, she noticed something chilling. There was no door behind her, just an endless, empty hallway, and the reflection of herself staring back in a mirror, a look of horror frozen on her face. She had become the door. Mira realized in that endless moment that every choice she'd ever avoided, every life she'd never lived, was waiting for her behind each door. And she would live them all, one room at a time. Every choice leaves a door unlocked. Be careful which one you step through.